JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now on to the news. One person in custody following theft of money bags from beryllium truck. The Kingston Eastern Police has confirmed that one person is in custody in connection with the theft of 2 money bags with $20 million from a beryllium courier truck last week. The police have disclosed that they have recovered what they suspect to be some of the stolen cash. It was reported that investigators are searching for an SUV linked to the missing money. The money was stolen from the courier truck in East Kingston on Thursday. It's reported that at about 10 a.m., the courier truck, with a 3-member crew, was transporting 48 bags containing money to the Norman Manley International Airport. During the journey, the driver was reportedly alerted by a motorist that 2 bags had fallen from the truck and that the rear door was open in the Rockfort Mineral Bath along the Sir Floresdale Glass Bowl Boulevard. The crew chief reportedly stopped the truck and went to investigate and found the door open. He said they made several checks on Sir Floresdale Glass Bowl Boulevard but did not locate the missing bags. Police sergeant dies in hospital days after targeted gun attack. A policeman was attacked and shot last Thursday outside his Portmore home outside that hospital. The deceased has been identified as 54-year-old Sgt Patrick Mahoney, who was assigned to the Spanish Town Police Station. According to reports, sometime after 9 p.m., Mahoney was called outside of his home when explosions sounding like gunshots were heard. When the shooting subsided, it was discovered that he had been shot. He was rushed to hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. The police federation had issued an urgent appeal for blood donation for the injured cop. Superintendent Upton Nicholson, head of the St. Catherine North Police Division, says grief counseling has been sought for the sergeant's colleagues. The sergeant was always punctual and would complete any task given. He is sadly missed, and condolences to his family and colleagues, Nicholson said. 18-year-old woman shot and injured in Central Village. The Central Village Police in St. Catherine are searching for 2 gunmen who shot and injured an 18-year-old woman on Sunday night. Reports indicate that at about 11 p.m., the young woman was inside a shop in Central Village when 2 men wearing masks entered and fired shots. She was hit in the left leg. The teenager was assisted to hospital for medical attention. No motive has been established for the attack. Corey Gravy shot and killed in Old Harbour Bay. The St. Catherine South Police have launched an investigation into the fatal shooting of Andre Williams, a 27-year-old fisherman otherwise known as Corey Gravy, in Old Harbour Bay on Sunday. Williams, who was a resident of East Bay, Old Harbour Bay, was shot multiple times at around 2:30 p.m. near the market and the fishing beach, according to reports. Williams was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital but was pronounced dead upon arrival. Police believe the killing is connected to an ongoing gang feud between residents of Station Lane and a neighboring area known as Dagger Bay. A source close to the investigation revealed that Williams had a child with a woman from Dagger Bay and frequently traveled between the warring neighborhoods. Husband killed, wife robbed while checking on neighbors' burning home. A Clarendon community was rocked on Sunday night after 62-year-old Derek Morgan, a truck driver affectionately known as Jim, was fatally shot by a gunman while checking on a neighbor's burning home. The tragic incident unfolded in Green Meadows, Clarendon, around 9:20 p.m., shortly after his 47-year-old wife was also robbed by the same armed assailants. According to reports, Morgan's wife had driven into a yard when she noticed a neighbor's house engulfed in flames. Concerned, she went over to investigate, only to be confronted by 2 masked men dressed in dark clothing. The men held her at gunpoint, robbed her for a cell phone, and ordered her back into her house. Moments later, Morgan, who was returning from a domino game, saw the fire and stopped to offer help. The gunmen attacked him as well, shooting him multiple times. When the police arrived, they found Morgan lying face down with gunshot wounds to his head and back. He was transported to the Maple Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The owners of the house that was set ablaze were attending church at the time of the incident. Residents protest police killing set bridge on fire in Lucy. The Jamaica Fire Brigade JFB has confirmed that an early morning fire set by residents on a bridge in Johnsontown, Lucy, has been extinguished. Head of the JFB, Commissioner Stuart Beckford, says the call was received at 4:42 a.m. Monday morning. He says the team arrived at the location at 4:49 a.m. and saw debris including old refrigerators, wood, and garbage alight on the bridge. It took the brigade about 15 minutes to extinguish the blaze. Commissioner Beckford says a section of the road surface was charred. Reports are that residents set the fire in protest over the fatal shooting of 3 men in the town last week. Police reported that 3 alleged gunmen including a reputed gang leader, were cut down in a confrontation with them on November 6. They have since been identified as 23-year-old Clive Lawson, otherwise called Greedy, of Cotton Lane, Mount Salem, Montego Bay, and St. James, 23-year-old Jason Brown, otherwise called Biggs, and a 29-year-old Nicholas Gamble, otherwise called Nico, of Johnsontown, Lucy, and Hanover. Lawson was reportedly the leader of the Cotton Defense Force, KDF gang, which operates in the Mount Salem area. They reportedly seized a 9mm pistol with 2 rounds of ammunition and a .38 caliber revolver with 1 round in the incident. Former banker killed on way to church. Althea Graham Dolly rested her Bible on a chair and, having done her hat and preparing to head off to church, was turning back to retrieve something when gunmen, who had been traveling in a motor car, attacked and shot her several times Sunday morning. The Montego Bay businesswoman, a former banker, was killed at her Bogue Village home. She was 52 years old. Graham Dolly had just returned to school to study law, a dream she had over the years. After her murder yesterday, her church family described her as the faithful member who reveled in music. She always wore broad-brim hats to church. You could see her rocking to the music, the hat swaying with her every move. She loved the steel pan and started learning. She was a solid member, said Lisa Watt, rector's ward in the St. James Parish Church, where Graham Dolly worshipped. Watt said the parish church was divided into 17 clusters, and she was a part of the Bogue cluster. 2 days earlier, they had a conversation about fundraising efforts of the steel pan group, she added. According to Watt, Graham Dolly, who reared her only child in the church, wanted the best out of life, and to hear of her senseless killing was extremely sad. This one has really shocked us, Watt admitted, remembering the former banker's vibrancy. For her, the age group of members that Graham Dolly represented in their congregation was an important one. The businesswoman's death has sent shockwaves throughout the city of Montego Bay, with speculation circulating that she was marked for death. Graham Dolly grew up in Westmoreland and attended Manning School. She studied at the University of Technology, where she earned an MBA, and earlier, she did her undergraduate in business administration at the University College of the Caribbean. In her early years, she worked at Victoria Mutual as a brand secretary before joining Sagicor Bank, where her last position was personal banker. She also spent time at Pan Caribbean Financial Services Limited, where in 2009, she was named Team Member of the Year. According to reports from the police, about 7:30 Sunday morning, loud explosions woke the usually safe community. The police were called and, on arrival, saw Graham Dolly's body lying face down in a pool of blood. She had been shot in the upper body and head. Councils called for repairs to Sagoville Road in St. Catherine. There are calls for the Sagoville Main Road in St. Catherine to be repaired after the recent closure of the Bogwalk Gorge brought into focus its poor condition. People's National Party councillors Keisha Lewis and Dwight Burke of the Lauriston and Sagoville divisions have expressed disappointment with the neglect of the road, which falls under the National Works Agency. The road is a critical alternative route when the gorge is closed and for motorists seeking to avoid paying to use the Edward Seaga Highway. Lewis, councillor for the Lauriston division, said the heavily trafficked Sagoville Road is riddled with potholes, a concern she has been alerting since September.
So when I heard that Sagoville Main Road was announced as an alternate route, I wondered in myself if NWA understands the level of damage that was done to the main road subsequent to the recent flooding and then Tropical Storm Raphael. And so we're using this medium, myself and Councillor Burke, to call on the National Works Agency to quickly do some damage repair to the Sagoville Main Road before something happens that we're going to regret.
The Bogwalk Gorge was closed after a section was blocked by fallen boulders dislodged during Tropical Storm Raphael last Tuesday. It has since been reopened with single-lane access in a section. Cops killed 3 out east. The police in East Kingston have put a dent in a suspected robbery ring in the area after officers on patrol shot and killed 3 men on Winward Road early on Sunday morning. All 3, 2 of whom were teenagers, were from East Kingston addresses. A police corporal was reportedly shot in the leg during a shootout with the men, while 2 guns, including a Sig Sauer and a Ruger 9mm pistol with several rounds of ammunition, were seized following the encounter. A 48-hour curfew was in effect in the area at the time of the shooting. The curfew began at 6 p.m. Friday and ended 6 p.m. Sunday. Superintendent of Police Tommy Lee Chambers, who heads the Kingston East Police Division, said the men were specifically from the Rockfort and Wellington town areas within her division. The young men have been identified as 17-year-old labourer O'Shane Stubbs, otherwise known as Moonhead, 20-year-old delivery man Keishon Smith, otherwise known as Bimax, and a 19-year-old car wash attendant Abando Campbell. My team was traveling on Winward Road when men arose their suspicion, and the police team stopped, alerted from their unit, and gave verbal instructions to the men. After doing that, the men pulled their guns and opened gunfire at the police team, Chambers recounted. The police took evasive action and returned fire. After the gunfire subsided, all 3 men were observed with gunshot wounds. 2 guns were seen beside them. Chambers said, based on feedback, the men have been terrorizing residents and wreaking havoc for a period of time in the Jackson Road, Rollington Town, and Winward Road space. I cannot say if they are affiliated with any gang in particular. They were not on our wanted list. However, a series of events have been taking place on the Winward Road strip for a period of time. People have been reporting that they have been robbed coming from the automated teller machine. Based on intelligence we have been picking up, there might be persons who would watch people use the machine, Chambers said. Police statistics show that robberies have increased in the division by 19.2% this year compared to the corresponding period in 2023. From January 1 to November 9, a total of 31 robberies were recorded in the division compared to 26 robberies from January to November 2023. JBNN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.